Welcome to Around the Rinks, your go-to hockey podcast.
We are back with another episode of Around the Rinks, joined by Brenden, Reece, and our producer, Liam. Peace, everybody.
Pew pew,
The one
pew
and
pew
only.
pew pew.
Kylie is not here for today. She is busy with family and whatnot. Boo. Imagine, like,
Boo family. Nobody needs that in their life.
yeah, right? Like, we're the family here around the rinks. Like, look at us.
When you're in the beginning of May,
Yeah.
it goes playoffs, family.
Yeah.
Everyone
No,
should
it's
know.
way wider of a margin than that.
Yeah,
Like,
this
also
is
the
really
cream
big
you
enough.
can't
way
see
more
it.
like
It's
green ain't
Pretty
big
sure
enough.
there's a Moneyball clip, or it's family, it's a playoff, 50 feet of shit, then family.
But yeah,
Bang
now
on.
we're in video format. You can see our ugly faces on the screen. Whew, look at us. And
You're welcome.
Face is made for audio.
Brendan's mic is better than ever, so
He's up. He's up. We're working on it.
it's gonna be goofy, like we said last time. But
Episode 3, Brenden, I want a fridge tour while we're doing a podcast,
yeah, I'd
okay?
be so down for
I
that.
can give you one right now.
No, save
Actually,
that. Tease
Let me
us
check.
a
A
little
little
bit.
tease.
Tease us a little bit,
Once
okay?
we get a Patreon going, we
Yeah,
can do
there
that
we
house
go.
tours.
Get some sponsors.
That's
Get
the
some
Fridge Champions
sponsor
right
fridge
there.
magnets for you, or like.
There we go.
Yeah.
But
Pretty sick. Pretty sick.
today's the last day of round one.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy, honestly. This round one's been electric. Most hockey I've watched in a while. So,
Seriously.
and I don't even know where to start with. Like, it is just so much has happened. I think we wanted to start with the Canadian teams. Toronto, like, oh boy.
Oh,
we
boy.
love the NHL scriptwriters. It's Oscar-winning performances right there. It is
Yeah.
beautiful how it all worked out. Pretty much exact format of 2013 and 2018. Probably 2019. I think it was a little different, but all game sevens, and the Bruins coming on top. And
Phenomenal.
Leafs Garden last night. After I'm not sure if you guys seen the videos there. After the Bruins scored, dead silence, and they shut down all the lights and all the TVs there too. And
No
and
way.
scraps started breaking out and stuff. It was hilarious. But that
I mean, you couldn't have written a better
Yeah,
script, like you
totally.
said. I mean, for them to be down 3-1 and then it's like, oh, they're coming back. Wow, look at Toronto. This is
Yeah.
a magical moment. What a season we're coming off of, boys. He's on 70 goals. You're coming, and then game 7, you blow it,
Yeah.
and there you go. Welcome to overtime, baby.
yeah, they do not have a good record with Matthews, which is really
No.
funny. I'm surprised he played game 7. I was like,
Yeah.
I would have kept the lines going, but I guess Joseph Woll got injured as well, right? Which is probably the biggest factor there. I don't even Matthews in the lineup is not as big as Joseph Woll out of the lineup. So
Yeah, I mean, like, what even happened? Like,
So-
all of a sudden, it was just like, he finishes game 6, gets scored on at 0.6 or whatever,
Yeah.
loses the shutout. Then all of a sudden, they're like, yeah, he's hurt.
and people are saying he got injured that the 0.1 second goal, where he tried to make a desperation save, even though it was a 2-0 game already.
Fuck.
But that's
That
what people are
sucks.
saying. We don't know yet, but that sucks so much.
I mean, that entire
correct.
playoff round for Toronto was interesting because the different injuries they
Totally.
had. I mean, it was Nylander. Nylander missed the first 3
Yep.
games, was it?
and then
With ouchie, my head is sore, and then they go and lose their best player for game 7,
Yeah.
or game 6 and 7. It's like, man,
No,
there's a
yeah,
storyline
He
there.
was gone for like he only played the same game as Nylander in the game 7. That was
Yeah.
the
There we
first game they were together, and
Yeah, I think they literally played like 4 periods or something together because Matthews left in that third period, that one game.
it was a full
And,
game together.
Mhm.
So
and like,
Wild.
where do you guys think they go from here?
that is
Like,
that
you-
is
Great
a
question.
like,
I gotta
it's not like they got spanked. Like, they didn't go out in that when they were down
lost by
3-1.
one goal
Like,
for the entire
Exactly.
series, right?
in overtime, yeah, like it could have literally been Toronto moving on.
Against a very good playoff team. I mean, Boston is hockey playoffs.
Jim Montgomery has made an insane system there, and they failed to execute it last year in Florida, but this year in Toronto they just shut the whole core four down. Like,
did you see that clip that went viral about the Toronto coach pre-game where he said, "Okay, boys, let's go have fun out there," and everyone's like, "It's Game 7 of the playoffs. Having fun is for when you're 6 years old." You know,
Keefe has had some bad quotes the last couple of days. Some of them the most questionable quotes.
Is there a opening there for 100%. Maybe this is just the guy for this room?
100%. I think
for sure.
He's the first guy
gone.
I think he should have been gone last year. I think he should have been gone after the Montreal series.
But also, like, I really like. I'm not the biggest Sheldon Keefe guy for sure, but I do think that, like, he's getting dealt a bad hand. Like, this team is nowhere near as good as, like, they're set to be. Like, when you look at that defense, you got Connor Timmins in the lineup, and you've got, like, Labushkin playing 20 minutes a night. Like, that's a rest. No, he did good. He played good. But when you got like, I don't know, their decor is old, and it's, like, really fallen off a cliff the last couple of years, I think. Like, they're gonna need to really revamp that decor, find a goalie, and I think the only way that you can do that is you move Marner, like, and somebody's got to take him and pay him.
He's on his last year,
so it's not that easy. But yeah,
he's going on to his last year now.
I think
same with Johnny too.
I think goaltending is the biggest thing I noticed for Toronto was they did not win the goalies. They used multiple goalies throughout the series. Did not win Toronto a single game. Where.
I think.
Do you think they did?
Otherwise, when Joseph Woll came in, that's the only reason Toronto won Game 5 and 6. I think he stood on his head. Same with decor. I think Toronto's decor is the best part of their series. I think it was just their offense couldn't produce. They went one. They scored one power play goal the entire series. Like
that's crazy.
That is
actually,
for how much offensive power they have, scoring one goal. And then just scoring under 3 goals every single game, pretty much. It is not a good look, right? Like, and
you're paying 4 guys 40. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, cut you right off in the middle. You're paying 4 guys $40 million, and they got as many points as Connor McDavid himself. Like, that I know you had the injuries, you had this, but like someone's got to step up between all 4 of them, and Willie did good when he came in,
he had
but
3 goals and
you need more.
3 goals in 4
you need
games.
more.
So William Nylander was definitely.
I saw like he's got. I think that goal he scored last night was his 8th goal in elimination games in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty fucking crazy for like that team to be so unsuccessful and him be legitimately dominant in those games that they're.
I've said that every single series Toronto's been in, Nylander's always been their best player, and Marner's been their worst. And once again, it's showing it again. And John Tavares had 2 points in 7 games. Like,
that's not okay. That's you need him to step up and do something.
And it's tough because you see that game that Matthews had where he pretty much single-handedly like won that game. That goal, he had 2 assists. But like I mean, obviously he's not feeling great, blah blah. But like, it's tough when you see that like just sprinkled in front of you a little bit, and then it's like, oh. Never again. Don't see it again. That goal he set up last night was pretty sick.
That's a Nylander. That was sick. But other than that, Marner or Matthews is playing sick or injured or whatever it is. So like, I guess you can give him benefit of doubt there. But like, I don't know. Best ability.
I know what you're saying.
Availability.
There you go.
Bang.
And then
got it.
Nylander's having his migraines issue, which seemed like an actual. Like, apparently his eyes went all blurry and stuff, he was saying last night too.
Yeah, like that's crazy.
He just couldn't play.
Especially for a guy. Yeah. And he was saying that he never had gone through that. Like, he's never had that before. Yeah. So when you're a guy like at that caliber, you like pretty much these guys are running their bodies at like 100% efficiency, right? Totally. Like when you've got all of a sudden that just getting tossed in you, you're pretty irrelevant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The whole core wasn't good. Like, Nylander's the only good player. Everybody else stunk. And Domi ended up as their first line center. Which is...
Yeah. Who had that on their bingo card?
Domi and Bertuzzi being their best forwards, like, offensive players, is, like, mind-blowing.
And
so
Bertuzzi and Marchand going at it all series was... good enough to watch in itself. Yeah. Like that was some quality stuff.
Those
seeing Mark Cannon.
2 moves Tree Living made right in the offseason. People are like scratched their heads. He also got John Klingberg, which we don't talk about.
Yeah, I didn't really. but I think one thing to think about though is like all those guys, like those 2 especially, 1-year contracts, right? They paid them 1 year at the value they would for 1 year. Where like Bertuzzi had a pretty good playoff run, so did Domi. They're gonna ask for more, I assume, and term, right? So you're probably like, I don't know. I would say that you're probably only gonna be able to keep 1.
Yeah, you're probably only keeping 1, I'd say, and you need a goalie now, right? Because Samsonov is not coming back, and like I'm not sure if you want to put all the pressure on Joseph Woll. He's a young ass kid, right? Like you're not. I don't know how much it's going to be like the Stuart Skinner kind of question, right? Like, are they going to bring up a veteran backup goalie to help him out, or what's going to happen there?
Do you think Toronto wants Jack Campbell again?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
He's available.
I think so. We'll see. I don't know what goalies are available this free agency, but I'm sure there's one out there.
All right, we'll take the cap hit. You take Campbell, we'll take Marner.
Yeah, there we go.
Everybody figures it out.
Marner.
Jack Campbell's a playoff performer.
True.
Yep, that's what they need.
Experienced head between the pipes to teach your young goalies. Perfect. Okay, it's exactly what you need.
But
they need like a Mike Smith floating
Bring
around.
Back Mike Smith. There it is.
I can't think of a goalie that's like near. Like they need like Semyon Varlamov to come and back up. Like they just need somebody that's like kind of like okay right now. I mean, Varlamov played really good, but he's like older, right? You kind of need somebody to step in like that could play 40 games if he has to, and then have that dude just learning off of him.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know. Brendan Shanahan, the president, he's gone. Like, I feel like.
You think so?
Oh, definitely. I don't see why not. Like, he's been there since the hell ages. Like, the Matthews era is Brendan Shanahan all there. And all the game 7s against the Bruins, he was there. He doesn't have the best record in the playoffs right now.
No.
I guess none of the Leafs do. So I think it's all management's going. I say they just cleared the whole bench pretty much. For forwards,
I don't think that's crazy. Like
you can't.
They need a reset. Sorry,
it's hard to trade Marner. I don't think it's too. It's not impossible because he is on his last year. Like think of it, Jake Ensel who got traded this deadline. It could be something similar to that, but.
Oh man, if he goes into Toronto with 1 year left on his contract, free agent this year, and all people are going to be talking about is, are you re-signing? Are you re-signing? Are you getting traded? Blah, blah, blah. Like, that's going to be all hockey is.
It has to be an extension or he's traded this summer. I feel like that's how it has to go, or it's going to be all the pressures on him. Same with JT.
Ideally, this drags out all the way through, and then we don't even have to talk about Draisaitl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Well, it's funny you make that connection because I was when Noah was talking about how Toronto loses time and time again to Boston in Game 7s, thinking about, okay, do the Toronto Maple Leafs have the same kind of demons that the LA Kings have? Because that's 3 in a row now that they just cannot shake the Edmonton Oilers. They cannot beat them.
That's a good segue.
I was just going to say, that was smooth as butter, dude. That's why we keep you around.
Honestly, I agree. I feel like the Kings could go in farther in the playoffs if it just wasn't the Edmonton Oilers right there at the doorstep, right? They clearly have their number. It's not the best matchup in the world for the Kings, and you would kind of think it would be because of all the two-way centers they have on that team and two-way forwards. Try to shut it down, kind of like how Boston did to Toronto. But boy, that was a tough series for LA.
And that was an awesome series.
They're on a different level. They're so good.
And again, the question marks did kind of come up. It's like it's always question marks in Edmonton. You lose Game 2 or whatever it was. It's like, holy crap, what's gonna happen?
Sky comes falling down.
Like, no, it's fine. Zach Hyman's a beast. I'm not sure if we want to. Who was the best player for Edmonton that series? Because it's hard.
I was just gonna say that too.
I think it's hard to say anybody other than McDavid, Draisaitl, Boucher. Like, there's so many options, right?
Who
but
had a great series,
like
Vinny Desharnais.
Say it. There you go.
Desharnais was incredible for how he performed last year against LA and had a couple stinkers go by him and had a couple flukes and mistakes. He looked steady the every game. And everybody got scared because he got his legs taken out in game 1 or game 2 or whatever that was, but he was fantastic for them, and he ate up 20 plus minutes a night, and he just looked like a modern day Darnell Nurse
on the penalty kill as well. Right? He shut things down,
dominating the penalty kill.
Like as a defensive defenseman, it's fantastic.
To see Vinny improve so much over such a short period of time has been like me watching my child get better. Like, it's so sick to see this guy, like 6th round pick, 7th round pick, comes into the league, like, isn't supposed to do anything, and then all of a sudden he's almost solidified a top 4 spot. Like, they're talking about giving him a 6 or 7 year contract. Like,
would you 3 agree that Edmonton's defenders improved dramatically when Paul Coffey got behind the bench?
Yeah,
like dramatically improved.
It was like, basically, this guy's seeing everything that's going on out there and can reciprocate it because he has such a high hockey mind, I think. But then, like, you've also got, I think he completely changed the system because as soon as that happened, then all of a sudden these D-men are jumping up in the rush, and 90% of the time it's not damn but I mean, like...
But he still does move his feet. Like, he gets in trouble, it was always off the glass, and then he wouldn't even get it past the blue line. Now at least he's, move your feet. Good things happen when you move your feet and go up the ice, and he's getting it in, and it's been fantastic. And I don't know, like, for me, you almost go periods without even noticing him, and that is the biggest compliment in the whole wide world. Like, you couldn't go 3 shifts before without him fumbling the puck in the corner and giving it away. And it's like, Vinny, dude, like, you bring so much, but like this just can't happen, right? Like, it's a terrible turnover. Now, like you said, you're noticing them for all the good things, and it's fantastic. It's just like you said, it's our 6'7" child evolving right before our eyes.
Totally. I mean, just like compare him this year, last year. It's just watch tapes of that. It's night and day how different he plays now and more confidence. I think that's the biggest one. Is just how much confidence he has now.
There's not one Oiler though that stands out as, man, he had a bad series. I don't think. I mean, I thought Corey Perry had a bit of a rough series, but the man's 85 years old. Okay, give him a break. He's an old man.
Yeah, he didn't have the.
I agree.
He didn't have the best series, but he was still in there. Like, he's still going into every scrum. Yeah. He's doing what you pretty much brought him in for, right? So.
I was worried he was gonna be out for a while when he went down injured there in game.
That was so
last
scary.
Game.
That was actually.
And then he came back 5 minutes later.
That was a whole. This guy's played 200 playoff games. I think that was a bit of like, oh fuck, I tripped him. Maybe they won't give me a penalty if I just stay hurt.
He sold it pretty well though, because I was like, oh, this guy's done his ACL. He's out for 7 months. Like.
And then he's just right back out, hand washing guys.
Number 90 out there? Is that Corey Perry? Weren't you dead 2 minutes ago? Like,
he will be the difference maker in a series though. Like, he can be like, when it hits that game 7 overtime, he's that guy who's going to be electric the entire time there. And
I think every game there was an Oiler that stood out. I think Evander Kane had his moment so far in the playoffs where he was
had a really good
the man of the game. Yeah, I mean, Zach Hyman, game 1, he was the star of the show.
Holloway game 2.
Holloway,
exactly.
Had a great series, honestly.
Yeah, like he lost the game, but talk about the Hollywood show there.
Legacy game.
Legacy game.
I mean, that's even though none of the top guys scored, I don't think. It was
him. I think Holloway got 2 and Kulak got 1 that game. And they still lost.
Still a good look at the depth.
That's
the depth
crazy.
Scoring, right? So it's always.
I think honestly, like. Sorry. This team, I think, is, like, a lot better than, like, it didn't change much coming into the year, and, like, even to now. Like, it's not like they added a ton. Like, they had Henrique and Carrick, who isn't even playing a ton. But, like, they're so much more mature and comfortable in these situations now that it's, like, you're walking into these games now, and it's like, oh, well, whatever. Like, Skinner they only put up 13 shots in that game. Yeah. And, like, Skinner just dominated.
LA played maybe the most perfect game you can ever ask for, and they still lost. Right, Skinner was he was the MVP of that game, and that was probably the biggest turning point. Right, like.
That game was one where I went, this team can win a Stanley Cup, because it's like, it's not just a shine of, wow, we have superstars everywhere and they can score a bunch of goals, but it was when things are tough and things are not going your way, you're still able to grind out a victory. Man, that is impressive. That is a tough thing to do.
Yeah.
Exactly. And every other year they're sorry.
No, go
out.
Every other year they're pretty much okay. Fuck, we got to score 7 goals tonight to win this game. Now it's like, okay, yeah, we get 2 or 3. Like we should be able to handle this. Like, makes life a lot more comfortable as a Oilers fan, not having them score and then the other team scores right away, and it's just like, because that's the worst thing in the world.
On the special teams, man, that is so impressive.
That's probably the most important stat right there, honestly. You can say that. Like, lights out on the PK.
To not give up. To not give up a power play goal the whole series, which it's not like LA is known for their power play essentially, but they had second, third rank.
You say that I
think
LA was top 12 in power play coming down the stretch. I think they were 12th or 13th or something like that. Like they had a good system running, but Edmonton, it just makes Edmonton look better saying that. But
yeah, well,
do you guys see? Sorry,
the kill was right at the top of the league, and that was the most impressive part. We're over 50% on the power play. Are you kidding me? Like, is it sustainable? Probably not, but it's flashes of brilliance, and it's very exciting.
Extremely with another tough power play coming up, team like Vancouver.
Well, I was gonna say I hate to burst the bubble, but things are going to get a lot tougher. I think. I mean, no disrespect to the LA Kings, but Vancouver is
there's some studs on that side.
I think a lot of it's going to rely on if Elias Pettersson can get his head out of his ass.
It's that and Sailovs. Who the fuck is this kid?
Oh my god. Hey, we actually got to talk about this because this is crazy.
So Demko goes out.
Like,
done. He's done for the playoffs apparently, or maybe he'll come back later. Who knows? No one knows.
Resurrection.
I don't know. That whole thing kind of makes me nervous.
Casey DeSmith comes in, gets injured. Oh no, what the fuck? What are we gonna do? Calls up a 3rd string and the 4th string goalie. Sailovs. Never heard of this kid in my life. Lights out. Maybe the best goaltending performances out of any team this playoffs. Like, this kid just came out of I don't know, and he's just electric.
Well, Latvia?
I think he's from Latvia.
They signed him from the World Championships or something. He's throwing his head, so like, I'll throw him a contract.
He's probably one of those
second round of playoffs, buddy.
Yeah, he's probably one of those guys that in the World Juniors, he was like playing on one of those teams Canada played against, and it was like an 11-4 game for Canada, but he made 72 saves. Like,
he would be one of those
Yeah. That's what happens to the Oilers always. I find if they're losing a game, is because they get goalied, and if they lose a series here, is that going to be the reason?
So I think that brings me to my next topic. Would it not be the biggest Edmonton Oilers move to lose to his tandem of DeSmith and Silvas?
Yep, 100%. 100%. This being said, though, like,
with the way he's playing,
we can tire pump this guy as much as we want. He saw Philip Forsberg and Ryan O'Reilly, and all respect to those guys. It's not McDavid and Drat and Hyman and company, right? Like, the level of offensive firepower that the Oilers have compared to the Preds is just not on the same level, in my opinion. And it's going to be interesting to see. I'm not going to make any crazy jumps yet, but like,
do we know yet where Game 1 is? Is it in Edmonton or in Vancouver?
It's in Edmonton.
Vancouver.
No, wait,
in Vancouver. So I mean, Game 1 and Game 2, if it is in Vancouver, I mean, we'll see how this series looks. I think very quickly in terms of, will Edmonton be able to open up and explode offensively, or is it going to be a very back and forth tight series? I mean,
it's almost a blessing.
I'm not confident
to have it in Vancouver.
Yeah,
right. Like, you can kind of get the wheels turning before you come back home, and you can hopefully feel this kid out, right?
And you get let's say Game 1, Vancouver. Do you think they go back to Silvas?
Yeah.
I think so. So let's say
unless Demko comes back.
Let's say like his run ends, right? Like they lose, like, Oilers steal one game in Vancouver. Whatever, they lose the other one. Coming back to Edmonton Saturday night in Rogers Place.
That's a lot of pressure.
That's going to be probably the loudest that place has been all playoffs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you know,
like,
if the Oilers lose game 1, game 2's not going your way, that's where Corey Perry comes in. Just hate to be that guy. You run over the young kid in net and you say, "Welcome to the league, welcome to the league, young man." And I hate to be that guy, but that's how we're gonna play this series.
Oh, it's gonna be a gross series. It's gonna be. It's gonna a lot of
already
bruises,
gross.
A lot of bruises are gonna have.
Online has been disgusting.
It's a war zone.
Yeah.
I don't think I got a single like on it, but I tweeted it immediately after Vancouver won. I said, "Can't wait for 2 weeks from now when I don't have to listen to any more of these Vancouver fans yap anymore."
Oh boy.
But as Oilers fans, are we looking at this going, "We didn't beat them a single"? Yeah, you're excluded.
I see one back in the corner over there. Come on,
there's
dude.
an 06 jersey back there somewhere.
By osmosis.
Jersey, we got an Oilers puck there. But that's all. That McFarland jersey signed by the whole team, by the way. It's pretty sick.
There you go. Look at that kid. Look at that flex.
Humble brag. Someone's gonna come rob you now. How's that feel?
That's fake.
We did not beat them all season, regular season. Are you going? We just flip the script and beat them come playoffs?
I think it's a different time of year, right?
Honestly,
of the 4 games, you played 3 of them in the first 10, 15 games. It's a completely different team now. Am I saying it doesn't worry me a little bit? No. It's in the back of your head. I think it's probably in the back of these guys' heads too, right? They've had your number, but man, it's playoffs. Figure it out.
Talk about wanting that little extra kick. Lose both those first 2 games at the beginning of the season and got whooped, right? But McDavid was hurt or whatever the hell was going on with him. Mm-hmm. And then you've also got that game because they played just before the regular season ended, and it was to pretty much decide this is but this is
there we go.
Oh wait. Was I gone?
You died there for a second. I think you're back now. You're coming back.
Am I still here?
Yeah.
I saw a finger go on my screen. There's a finger that goes.
What was that?
Hey.
I don't know what's going on. But anyways, I think oh fuck, now I lost my train of thought with these fingers popping in my face. Come back to me.
Okay. Where were we? Did you see Spec asking McDavid do you remember blah 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 the first game of the season against Vancouver? And he's like, I don't remember. I'm not even gonna answer that. I don't remember. It was one of the Spec questions.
That's the perfect.
So, what's that?
Sorry, I remembered. Basically, they played right at the end of the regular season. This was to pretty much decide who was going to win the Pacific, and they lost again. But I do and to DeSmith, I do think that is literally the kick in the ass that they probably needed to be okay, fuck these guys. I think that they've probably got more. They're probably more pissed off Vancouver than Vancouver is at Edmonton, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Vancouver's also playing with house money.
True.
Yeah.
I mean,
all the pressure's on Edmonton. Vancouver's not supposed to be in the second round.
They had no
they were
expectation
barely
to make
almost
the
in
playoffs this year.
Exactly. That's what makes me nervous. Is that
pressure's on Edmonton.
Yeah.
And it will be. No matter who you're against.
Game one, first 5-10 minutes are going to be massive in terms of who comes out faster and who takes control of that series. But what do we think of Vancouver's actual series against Nashville? Were you impressed with what you saw?
I mean, I was scared. When goalies went down, I thought Nashville was taking it. I thought they were going all the way to 7 or even 6. I thought they took it, and Saylovs stole the show. So that's basically how it went. That was a great series, though. It's probably one of the... I don't know. It was boring, but it was also pretty fun. Extremely that Game 7 and games low.
How brutal must it have been for a series for Nashville fans?
Oh my god!
You lose that one game from them scoring 2 goals in the last minute or whatever, and Sissons misses the empty netter.
Oh, that was.
And then you lose this last game from them scoring in the last minute or whatever. That is heartbreaking. I was literally sitting there as an Oilers fan. I was like, I would actually be so sad if I was a Nashville fan.
But that's the difference, right? Those are the coin flips, right? Like, it could have been Nashville in 6 that easy, right? It probably should have been. And that's kind of where the blind confidence maybe comes in, if you want to call it that. Like, I don't know. Like we said right off the bat there, if Pettersson figures it out, well, now I'm a lot more scared. But just how soft he's been, that's their big guy, Hughes, and, the cast. How about that Joshua guy?
Sorry, what?
He's been throwing the Dakota Joshua. Did we talk about him at all?
We did last time, yeah.
Right off the bat? Is he? Okay, yeah, that guy. He's just continued to impress me.
He could probably use a second shutout. Yeah. He's been playing unreal, man, all throughout the year. Like, I think they were saying at the beginning of the year that Tocchet, called him out at the training camp and was just basically this guy was not ready to go. Like, he wasn't, I wanted to see a lot more out of him, straight to the media. And then came in the season and was arguably, the most unexpected, player this year. I think he had, 15-ish goals. This dude was never supposed to be playing in the NHL, I don't think.
Reece, you mentioned how sad the Nashville Predator fan base was. I'm putting them as second saddest because I watched the Winnipeg Jets. Oh my goodness me! The whiteout was full of tears. It was hard to see. Oh, I wanted Winnipeg to do something. I really did. But not to be.
That was my team. I went on all in for Winnipeg and Boston, and Winnipeg has. They went against a beast, and that's all I gotta say about that. Connor Hellebuck.
Well, is he a fraud?
No.
He's
just
putting him on fraud watch, everybody.
You know what?
Fraud watch for Hellebuck.
Put him on fraud. I'll put him on watch.
I just think,
if he does another,
I think the Colorado Avalanche was just that good.
They're good. They're so good.
They found a plan to beat Hellebuck, and they did it. They got in front every single play. They screened him every single chance they had. It wasn't his fault. Hellebuck did come out and say afterwards, it's I played some of the best hockey of my career. It's just those goals were perfect goals.
I think it is crazy for him to come out and say I played the best hockey.
100%.
I do.
But you throw up an 850 save percentage, dude. Tough. You can't be pumping your tires after that.
When the other side, Georgiev is just what happened?
Yeah.
I do have the stats here.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Besides game 1, Georgiev had a 940 save percentage and went 4-0. What the fuck? And that's a guy they were going to switch out in game 2, but the backup goalie was had an illness. So
I think basically this series reminded me a lot of when Edmonton and Vancouver played, or not Edmonton, Vancouver, Edmonton and Calgary played.
Sure.
Because there was that game 1 where it was super high scoring. You go Colorado, Edmonton lose those games, but they still got 6 and 7 goals on these big name goalies, who was supposed to be stopping. Exactly. So once you get into that game 2 and you're I just popped 6 on Hellebuck, we're fine. What?
Yeah.
Then the rest of the series was just written like that. I don't know. That's a super scary Colorado team they've got humming right now.
And
I still think Colorado's the team to beat in the West. I know they didn't finish on top, but I still think they're the team to beat.
They have to be, right? They have the amount of talent on that team. And I know they lost last year pretty brutally to Seattle at all teams, but
yeah,
it's just they're the favorites. I think I think there's no doubt unless the series that's going on right now, Rangers Canes, those two might be the favorites. But out of the West,
that's gonna be a good series.
Those teams are it, and we got a big game 7 tonight. Which
I think for some reason I think that game tonight is probably going to be the game of the playoffs.
I don't
know what it is.
It's probably going to be another 0-0 to fucking third period game. Oh my god, that happens so much. I said it before the playoffs even started. It's going to be a low scoring playoffs, and these last game 6s and 7s have just been under 2 goals. What? It's kind of crazy. But
teams don't want to give anything away, right?
True.
They don't want to lose on a bad mistake.
It's where you don't take chances, right? You saw it last night in Toronto and Boston. Those teams, I didn't see that many mistakes at all, except for a couple times on the Bruins side. But then Swayman stood on his head. But yeah, it's probably the biggest game this year or playoffs for those. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great game.
Yeah.
Vegas.
Quickly before I
sorry.
Who wins that game? Who goes through tonight?
I don't know. I
need you to know. You are the homeboy. Come on, figure it out.
It's a game 7's a coin flip. It's in Dallas though, so Vegas has played good in Dallas, I guess. So
yeah, I mean Dallas only won one game at home.
I took the Stars from the very beginning. I want Dallas to beat Vegas. I'm not a fan of Vegas.
Is like the biggest Stars fan, and I would like to see the Stars win, but Vegas they're the champs. They know how to do game 7s, right? Like,
what's the board's record in game 7s? Has he won a game 7 ever?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's bad.
I
totally forgot about that.
I think he might be winless.
Yeah, like I mean, the coaches aren't going out there and playing and everything, right? Like, he's probably the only one losing sleep over the whole record.
There's also a lot of records were broken in the Boston-Toronto one. Like, Joel Edmondson never losing in a game 7. That's
really?
That's a funny one I saw. But, I don't know.
Selfishly, can I not say that Vegas, Colorado might be a little bit more fun than Dallas, Colorado, or is that kind of a great statement?
Vegas, Colorado would be
I think it's pretty.
Yeah.
I think both those series would be pretty. Like, there's really no way.
Well, like, what a lucky. Like, yeah. Like, of the 3 teams, those are the ones you want to see. But
those 3 teams are probably the best, and then the Oilers.
But all 3 of those teams are the teams I didn't want Edmonton to run into.
You're going to run into one of them in the conference finals. No matter
that's what I'm saying. Like, we're sitting there going, Edmonton beats Vancouver. Man, you come up against a damn good team in that next round. Then, like, but the West is so tough.
I do think that whoever wins out of that series, Colorado and them are going to kick the shit out of each other. And this Edmonton-Vancouver series, like, I think it'll be physical. I don't think it's not that same kind of big boy hockey.
Because it's just how much the 2 teams hate each other. Like, I feel like there's going to be bodies flying everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
So, I think
it'll be
it's going to be a great series.
This is going to be good hockey.
I think this is in the West.
This is, I think, probably the first year in a while that, and we had a good first round, but I think the second round is going to be better than the first. I haven't seen that in a long time.
There's always been matches.
I think, if anything, the NHL has done an incredible job in terms of self-promoting self-promotion, because, I mean, if you put on any playoff game that's happened so far, and you're not even a hockey fan, you're going, oh, this is so much fun to watch. Awesome. Whereas if you put on, like, the NBA playoffs, you're like, oh, my God. Like,
what is...
LeBron lost. Who gives a shit? Like,
what is going to be the weakest second round matchup, or like the least attractive to watch? Because
I think it's Boston, Florida. No.
Yeah, out east.
It's hard to say. Yeah, I guess. Like, I guess.
It's a rematch from last year. Like, they fucking hate each other. But
I mean, the Florida fan base is not the strongest.
We have 4 incredible matchups. This is actually crazy.
And it doesn't matter who wins.
That's the point where it's like we are lucky.
Doesn't matter who wins, Stars or Vegas. It's great matchup against.
NHL's been pumping that whole we're in the golden era of hockey. Like, this could actually be the golden era. Like, having so many of these talented guys still in the playoffs and stuff, and like these teams are wagons. Like, you look at Carolina and New York, like that series is gonna be fucked. And then
I'm watching it right now. Carolina just scored.
That's 4-3 then?
Yeah, 4-3 with under 2 minutes.
4-3.
Holy shit!
See, like,
you could tell me with the 9 teams in it right now, including the game 7 tonight. You could tell me any of those teams win the cup, and I believe you.
Totally.
Right? Like, it's not like there's a weak team that snuck through. Like, it's incredible. The top end talent in this league is so much fun.
14 out of the 16 teams, you could have said they had a chance to make it, right? Like,
yeah, no, that's true.
We know the 2 I'm talking about are leaving out there, but but I don't know. It's amazing. Where do you want to move on to next? Where are we talking about? We want to move to the East now.
Kind of been all over the
back
place.
to the East.
I honestly might have to cut here like before long.
I was just gonna say, like, if you want, do you want to talk about like any of the other playoff series that have happened or about to happen, or that was a pretty good.
Yeah, because Kylie isn't here, so we can't really go into predictions for next series or for next round, I guess. So,
fuck you guys.
Yeah, next.
Sorry.
We can do a prediction episode pretty quickly here. Yeah, I mean once all these series are defined.
I mean today's the last day.
Yeah, well, when is that?
I could do.
When does that series start? Or
for
the round, or I guess round Monday night.
Yep.
Do you guys know who's even playing that? Jesus.
Boston, Florida's Monday.
My brain is.
And then it's Colorado and whoever wins tonight. I'm pretty sure.
Monday. Yeah. Then Tuesday is
Oilers start on Tuesday, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we will do a prediction episode.
Yeah.
Whenever Kylie tries to show up.
It'll probably be Wednesday, so a couple games will be done, but that means nothing. So.
It is what it is.
We'll have to go back and look at the predictions for round one.
I mean, we can talk about them right now if you want to. Reese, you are insane.
I know. I was gonna pull them up. Did I do good?
You did great. I think you did the best out of everyone. I think I did the worst.
If Vegas wins this game, and you little fuckers got me switch that pick,
that's just peer pressure. You shouldn't give into that peer pressure.
Word.
Oh, Reese, you wanna do some drugs? Yeah, dude.
But yeah, I did not have a good predictions.
Yeah, no, you picked.
I picked the Islanders.
Winnipeg to go
Winnipeg. I picked the Islanders.
Yeah.
Let's.
You're on the sauce.
Yeah, that day was not real for me. So
that's true. The only one you were fighting demons.
Yeah, I was fighting demons that day.
I'm looking back at your predictions there, Reese. The only one that's out to lunch a little bit is you gave the Caps 7 games against the Rangers. Otherwise,
it's pretty much perfect.
It's pretty bang on.
Did you sign up for the bracket challenge?
I had Edmonton going. No, I didn't even think about it. Speaking of bracket challenges, I don't know if he's going to be listening. Josh Fenwick, I want my money, buddy.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't know
you were that whole thing and never got paid.
Wait.
I thought I won it because I was within touching distance and I got the final completely correct.
I came second in that. But
okay, I don't even know. We never got some finishing or anything
I asked him about that. I said I was looking forward to your email, dude. And he's just like, "Oh yeah, I'll send it out later."
I'll get it out.
For context, this is for March Madness, and so Mr. Josh Fenwick did a bracket for our whole program pretty much, and Reese won it. Reese won March Madness.
Supposedly, I want to see the numbers first.
And I came
I want to see the numbers.
I also want to see the numbers, but I also came second with a couple points behind.
I got the final exactly correct. Okay, there's big points in that because it was.
Yeah.
I want to see the numbers.
I'm gonna reach out to him right after this, and because I don't know who could use this probably $65 more than me. But
it sure shit ain't you.
He just kept the money. He has the money right now. What is that?
Yeah. I'm
man, this guy
wanted everybody to
pay the White Av last night. Was getting crazy. Yeah,
Caitlin Clark's a professional basketball player now. But yes, to go back to our predictions, Reese, you got 100% other than
we'll see.
The Dallas Stars are happening, so I mean, we'll see what happens there.
You did it all right, that's incredible.
Let's go Dallas.
Kylie got 100% except Winnipeg, and she's also chosen Dallas, so we'll see there.
I don't even know who I picked for Dallas Vegas.
Let me see who you guys got. Noah, you've got Winnipeg, you got the Islanders, and then you had Dallas. Okay, so we'll see. You got 100% everywhere else.
The Islanders
Big
was a
sexy
Hail Mary,
Brenden.
I keep the podcast it's controversial.
The Islanders were a 16th seed playing the 1 seed Cinderella story.
I was ready for the Cinderella. I was ready for Patrick Wall. I think I got.
Brenden had 100%. Brenden had 100% except Winnipeg as well and Dallas tonight. So other than that, you guys did relatively okay.
Let's
No,
go.
you were the worst, Noah.
I know.
You were the worst.
I'm disappointed. Okay. To be fair, I got my brackets here. It is a lot different than what I said on the podcast. So.
Well, that doesn't matter. This is what you publish. Yeah. You publish this one.
I don't count this one. I was seeing demons that day.
That sounds like an excuse to me.
Sounds like an issue, not an issue me.
What happened? But
no, you guys did fairly well on your predictions.
Hey, well, that's what happens. You think the people that run the Go-To Hockey podcast don't know what they're talking about?
I know, right?
It's always a great brand endorsement when you know what you're talking about.
There we go. Sponsor us.
Please. I'm not getting money from March Madness. We need money somewhere, okay?
Alrighty, well, I think this is the end of the first episode online with our beautiful faces on here. We'll see you guys probably Wednesday. We'll see. It depends on scheduling. That's the hardest part, honestly.
Next video will be a second round predictions video, so keep your eyes out for that. Social media on Instagram, on Twitter.
Might not be the next episode, I guess, if we're gonna do it on Wednesday, but the following Wednesday I will be in Mexico. So
are we getting a live?
I'm really happy to be in Mexico live on the beach, boots on the ground, and we'll be reporting live from Cancun Dreams Resort.
Did you? Oh, fantastic resort! I've been there. Fantastic one. Did you see though in Cancun they were watching the Oilers game versus LA?
Did see that.
Huge fan base there.
Yeah.
It was wild.
Man, I thought I was gonna be sitting there drinking triples at the bar by myself watching these games. There's gonna be like 50 people around, and we're going. It's for a wedding too, so there's gonna be a zillion people there.
Oh, what up? What up?
That's electric. That's gonna be nice.
And you guys, we'll be bringing you, the viewers, to Cancun, Mexico.
Yeah. What?
Drop a comment for what should Reece drink? What should Reece drink in Mexico?
Alrighty, see you guys next week. Peace out.
That has been another episode of Around the Rinks, your go-to hockey podcast. We'll see you next time.